Construction, Minuteman Press, Kozad Asset Management, and Muhammad Car Connection. Again, for tickets, just $10 at saltandlightministry.org or in person at either of our locations.
A lot more humanitarian aid into Gaza, where more than 10,000 Palestinians have been killed.
The Israelis are pushing deeper into the Strip today. They say overnight they were able to destroy a Hamas command center and found anti-tank guided missiles along with other weapons, as the Israelis are not only looking to destroy Hamas leadership, but also looking for those 240 hostages.
Fox's Trey Yanks near the Gaza border. Another consequence of Russia's war on Ukraine. An international agreement falls apart.
NATO and Russia agreed in 1990 not to build up large numbers of troops near shared borders. The decision by NATO to suspend the Treaty of Conventional Armed Forces in Europe came just hours after Russia pulled out of the deal.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. It's Election Day. And in Virginia, Democrats hope voters block Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin's plans. Fox's Alexandria Hoffs in Loudoun County.
The governor is not on the ballot, but his agenda is, and if both chambers are taken today by the GOP, that will push forth the priorities that the governor has really been looking to do. That includes parental choice in schools, bolstering public safety, and implementing a 15-week abortion limit with exceptions.
Now, abortion's also on the ballot in Ohio. Voters there will decide if abortion rights should be written into the state constitution. Ivanka Trump is next on the witness stand. Tomorrow at the Trump Organization's civil trial in New York, the former president testified yesterday combatively for hours, sparring with the judge who's already ruled the company committed fraud. After his testimony, the former president denied that, calling the case unfair and political.
Inflation and all of the other problems that this country has, I think it's a disgrace.
America's listening to Fox News.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Why are central banks quietly amassing mountains of gold? Because they know the dollar won't last. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to diversify your IRA or 401k into physical gold with Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, get a free info kit on gold by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit now.
During Israel's month-long war versus Hamas, there have been protests, many of them pro-Palestinian here in the U.S., and one of them over the weekend turned violent in California.
Cops say Paul Kessler was attacked as pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli protesters held counter-demonstrations in Westlake Village, California. They say the man was struck with a megaphone by a pro-Palestinian demonstrator and fell to the ground, later dying in the hospital. Jonathan Oswak saw it happen.
I saw the bullhorn come across. It was very easy to see from where I was.
It's believed Kessler died after falling to the ground and striking his head. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
A second police officer has been acquitted in Colorado in the death of a black man, Elijah McClain, in 2019, responding to a call of him being suspicious.
Aurora officer Nathan Woodyard was found not guilty of charges including homicide and manslaughter. His defense attorney, Megan Downing, called it the right verdict. Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser did not agree.
Today's verdict is not the one that we had hoped for, but we respect the jury system.
2 of the 3 officers tried have been acquitted with, according to AG Weiser, another trial to come in just weeks.
The trial against the paramedics will begin, and I know the team handling that case will do their very best work.
The paramedics are the ones believed to have provided the ketamine used to subdue McClain before he died. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could drop after recent big gains. Dow futures down almost 100 points. On Monday Night Football, the Chargers D helped L.A. get a W.
Wilson out to his left. Tui Pelotu is there with another Chargers sack.
That was one of 8 sacks. The Chargers also forced 3 Jets fumbles, and Los Angeles beat New York 27-6 on ESPN. Both teams now 4-4 on the season. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Federal appeals court upholding Illinois' assault weapons ban. The 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruling the ban doesn't violate the Constitution. The law passed in January in response to the deadly mass shooting in Highland Park's 2022 July 4th parade. Congressman Jonathan Jackson calling on the rest of the state to help Chicago in dealing with the migrant crisis. He suggested other cities in the state help take care of asylum seekers. His comments come as Mayor Johnson's administration still figuring out a housing plan for thousands of migrants currently living in temporary shelters at police stations or at city's airports. Illinois punishing the parent company of Blue Cross Blue Shield. The state departments of insurance announcing fines of nearly $300,000 for Healthcare Service Corporation for violations of the Network Adequacy and Transparency Act requirements for health insurers to post up-to-date, accurate, and complete provider directory information. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hey, thank you, Jim Miller. Good morning, ESPN 93.5. Glad you're listening. I am Stevie Jay. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
Weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
So many great fall programs. And don't forget the turkey trot on Thanksgiving morning, a tradition for over 57 years. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Okay, we've got Mr. Meteorologist Greg Solier. What the heck is that?
Hello. Okay, he's calling now.
Wow, that's weird. Yeah, I got you, Bub, but it's echoey on my end, and the gizmo is not working. I don't get it.
I think we need a reboot somewhere down the line.
I just
kick it to the curb.
I did reboot the whole darn machine, so that was odd. What is that? I got like this cool reverb thing. I kind of like that. Hello. It's Greg Solier, our meteorologist. I don't get it. What?
You too can have fun on the radio.
You betcha. Hey, it's Mr. Microphone. I'm on the radio. I kind of like
one of those.
I might have to keep that going on. That's pretty cool.
How about that toy?
Can you still get that from Uncle Amazon for Christmas? By the way,
you could find it out there. Hey, I'm on the radio. I kind of like. I might keep that thing.
Exactly.
It's our
you got to spin those super hits from the 70s. I'm sorry, we got to get to business here.
That's right.
Well, it's another sunny day in November in Illinois, and I'll take it, Buster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but not too far of us, south of us, I should say, and not too far away from us, he tries to say. There is a bit of a frontal boundary. It has slightly higher humidity ahead of it. We're in the drier air mass, and so we're in relatively good shape, but you don't have to go too far south out of Champaign to start running into some fog areas down towards Villa Grove, maybe Pasodum, the Broadlands, over towards Georgetown there in Pavilion County, points on southward. Then you get into Douglas County and Edgar County. There are some dense fog advisories in effect till roughly about the 9 o'clock hour. So heads up there and east towards the Wabash as well. But not a bad morning, all things considered. 45 at Willard and Savoy, 43 over the Water Survey, 41 up at Rantoul, 50 at Pasodum, 45 over at Danville, same at Paxton, 44 on the run out towards Bloomington Normal. So a little backdoor cool front comes to the area. Winds come around into the north and northeast. And once we get out of the low cloud and fog stuff of the next couple of hours, everyone else, including East Central Illinois and Champaign County, in store for a great-looking day. And a high temperature near 66, when we ought to be about 56 this time of the year. So much for a so-called November cold front. Along that front, we'll get into a little boundary and disturbance that may generate some late-night sprinkles and spots down to 50 for the low. That same cool front comes back north as a warm front. 75 tomorrow. Wouldn't be surprised there's an 80 somewhere near the I-70 corridor with a little sprinkle in the morning and maybe a couple of showers late afternoon, early tomorrow night. None of those are expected to curtail outdoor work and harvest, by the way. Should be able to work and play through it. 48 below tomorrow night as winds come around west-northwest. And a breezy, much cooler, partly sunny Thursday. Feeling a little more November-ish than for Thursday and the weekend. 56 on Thursday. And lots of sunshine, dry weather for the weekend at 52 on Friday. 53 Saturday, 56 on Sunday. Nights down right around freezing, not surprising there. But then next week, another run of mild to warm weather, maybe some record-setting one. 58 that is on Monday. 60s Tuesday, 70s are still in here for the middle and late portions of next week.
Programming note.
Yeah.
I was testing the system. And the reason you couldn't get on is because I was. So I just disconnected myself. Sorry about that. So we are good to go, sir. We are working out our programming on radio live meeting. Hey,
do it yourself radio right here.
But I am glad to know about my secret reverb. That's exciting. Hey, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. See you next hour.
That's Greg Solier, our meteorologist. Brian Kilmeade is coming up bottom of the hour, Fox News. Right now, Terry Schilling, who still has the 309 area code from Virginia. What are you doing,
Quad
man?
Cities.
Originally Quad Cities, but he's in Virginia, aren't you, Terry?
That's right. Yep, I'm from Geneseo, Illinois. My family has a pizza shop in East Moline. It's called St. Giuseppe's Heavenly Pizza, best pizza in the Quad Cities.
Nice.
And I've been living in the D.C. area for the last 10 years, unfortunately.
It's Terry Schilling, who's our guest. He's Executive Director of American Principles Project. He's a GOP strategist. It's hold the House, flip the Senate in Virginia today, Terry. Is Governor Youngkin going to get that done out there? Because turning that state completely red would be news.
I think we've got a good shot. The Senate is 22 to 18, so if you flip 2 seats, we can take over that chamber with the Lieutenant Governor serving as President of the Senate. And then in the House, it's just 2 seats, right? So we win 2 seats there, and we reclaim that chamber. So it's a big day today. Republicans have gone all in on inflation and Bidenomics and crime and immigration, and we'll see if that messaging pays off.
We'll be tracking that. All right, so President Trump in court, more testimony. This is, for me, a waste of time. The man's going to be convicted. It's a slam dunk. There'll be some convictions for Donald Trump simply from the venue. I mean, if you go into New York City and get a pool of people, 9 out of 10 don't like Trump and probably 8 out of 10 hate him. How can this be fair?
It can't be, Stevie, and I think everyone that has 2 brain cells rubbed together we all know that this is a rigged trial, right? This is going to end in a conviction. We don't know what he's going to end up with. This judge could throw the book at him. He could give him a fine, something like that. But let's just be very clear about the situation here. There has been no crime committed. There are no victims. There is no these people tried to say that Mar-a-Lago is only worth $18 million. It's worth way more than that. Like more than 50 times that much in West Palm Beach. This is a criminal investigation run by criminals, right? That's what this is. It is the total and complete weaponization of the justice system against the opponents of this regime that's in power. But here's the thing, Stevie, they're miscalculating. They're not thinking of what could be and what could be the fruits of this, which is Republicans start going after Democrat criminals like Joe Biden, like Hillary Clinton, like Bill Clinton, like all of these other guys, like Barack Obama, all of these guys. It's going to open the door, but also they're misunderstanding and miscalculating the politics of this. There is a huge voter group known as like Ross Perot voters. They're working class people. They hate Republicans because they're weak, and they despise Democrats because they're evil. These types of voters are going to come up to the polls if they see the weaponization of the justice system against the only guy that never started an illegal war overseas.
Yeah, well, it's the bottom line is there's no equal justice under the law, because you can always have a different result if you say if Joe Biden does this or Donald Trump does this, it's a different result. So that's not equal justice, and that's the main concern I have. What's the impact of Governor Kim Reynolds endorsing Ron DeSantis in Iowa? Does that matter?
Stevie, I don't think it does. I think that the primary has been over for a while. We'll see what happens in Iowa in January, but I just think it's over. When the federal government started colluding with local governments to get President Trump out of politics and to eliminate his ability to run for office and keep him from the White House, I think that determined who our nominee was going to be right then and there, for better or for worse, right? But the more the Republican Party sees the weaponization of government against Trump, the more they're going to support him.
Yeah, I think people are, we think we're stupid, but I don't think we're that stupid. I mean, you just got to see what this is. And I think most do. The Trump people that can't stand Donald Trump and think he truly is a Nazi, you're not going to ever get that. So I don't know what's going to happen. I still don't believe it's going to be Trump v. Biden, one or the other or both. I just don't think that's the matchup. But maybe I'm wrong, because it is getting kind of late in the cycle. It's a year from today is the presidential election.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. So there's that. Terry Schilling, how can people connect with you?
You can visit our website. We're building a political organization for the American family. So we go and defeat Democrats that are attacking parental rights and attacking the innocence of children. We unelect them, replace them with good guys, and then we pass laws to protect our kids. We passed 23 women's sports bills to keep boys out. We passed 21 bans of gender mutilation surgeries for minors. We're kicking butt and kicking tail, so we could use some support. It's AmericanPrinciplesProject.org. Just check us out there.
You can always go back to East Moline and eat pizza. You could do that.
That's right.
That's right.
But no, you're trying to help change the world for the better. Terry Schilling, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Illinois played basketball last night, and we
won.
Beat Eastern Illinois
80-52. 28-point victory. So 13 players played a little bit, and at least a dozen with the points. So the next game will be Oakland, and I just saw on the crawl over here on the TV on ESPN talking about Ohio State beat Oakland 79-73.
Oh, a little closer.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
well,
that game's at 7 o'clock. Of course, we'll be at Pia's after 3 on Friday the 10th. We'll have some tickets to that game. And, of course, the fan bus is a great experience. I was at Pia's yesterday. It leaves a half hour before tip-off. And then you've got 10 minutes after the game, the final buzzer, to get back on.
10?
Just 10 minutes. Eric says, we're not messing around.
Let's go.
And he said, when we do a half an hour, people are like, I'm out of here. Let's go.
Yeah,
and
all
let's
right.
leave some people behind.
10 minutes.
They do a head count, and if they are to their head count, it could be 8 minutes.
It's called Uber.
That's right.
Okay, so last night, Dre Gibbs Lawhorn was the name.
Right, 18 points.
Yeah, he's the freshman. Terrence Shannon, what's Dre bring?
He gave us energy, and he had a great week of practice, and it's kind of like you could tell that he was going to play good. He always has energy in practice, always going hard, and he's just one of those guys that's always energetic and can bring the energy to any team that he's on.
All right, Dre, what say you, sir?
It felt good, exposure really is not my focus. It's just coming out, playing hard, providing for my team, making sure my team gets to win at the end of the day, whether that's me cheering on the bench or being on the court. Whatever I can do to help the team get the dub at the end of the game. Sometimes it's good coming off the bench because you kind of can get a feel for the game and how people are playing. So I loved it.
Yeah, fun. Good game.
Great.
Good game.
And Sincere Harris, I guess, redshirting to work in the weight room.
I guess they want to get him bigger, stronger. He's only 170 pounds. He's 6'4", and shooting's not great. So his family, Sincere's all in, and I think it'll really help Illinois.
Sure will,
because he's got the motor.
That's
I love
right.
Sincere Harris. So wishing him the best on this decision to redshirt. We got a lot of older guys. I think we'll be okay without Sincere, but we want him great next year.
And Luke Goody after 4 today, right,
Yeah,
Stevie? Here on
405.
ESPN 93.5, thanks to Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, First Federal Savings Bank, Crossroads Contractor Supply, Brian Hansen at State Farm. We also have Max Twin City Recycling and the trades with Carpenters Local 243 saying go Illini.
Luke Goody, 3 out of 5 from 3, 9 points.
Yeah.
He'll be on today after 4 with Lon and Derek. Our weather brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you they're always looking to increase the team. If you're looking for some opportunities, all you need to do is go to carl.org/careers.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity and seasonally mild weather back into play over the next 36 to 48 hours. A little bit of a respite back to more seasonal norms come Thursday and into the weekend. Another big warm-up, perhaps some near record-setting warm the middle to late parts of next week and up to just about the Thanksgiving holiday. 66 for the day today, nothing to shake a stick at, with temperatures above average there. Sunshine, north-northeasterly wind, increasing clouds, 54 tonight. A few sprinkles late, maybe a couple of sprinkles around tomorrow morning, and a couple of rain showers late in the day tomorrow. Variably cloudy, windy, and unseasonably warm at 75 degrees at south wind, 15 to 25 and gusty. A couple of spells of rain here for early tomorrow night, low down to 48 for the day on Thursday. Breezy, much cooler, sun and clouds, and 56 there, 52 to 53 Friday and Saturday, mid-50s on Sunday. Nights in the low to mid-30s. Warm-up gets going into next week with highs close to 60 on Monday, into the 60s on Tuesday. Dare we forecast some 70-degree weather mid-next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
WeWork, the office-based sublet company that was valued at $47 billion at its peak, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy reorganization. The business signed hundreds of long-term leases, carved them up, and rented them for as little as a month at a time. Demand for its office space crumbled in the pandemic when employees switched to remote and hybrid work. The Wall Street Journal says WeWork had losses of around $16 billion in June. Intel is said to be the leading candidate to potentially receive billions of dollars in government business from the CHIPS Act. The Wall Street Journal says Intel would be involved in providing microchips for the U.S. military and intelligence applications to reduce the military's dependence on imported chips, particularly from Taiwan. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
I'm Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom. Join me for my brand new podcast, Perino on Politics. Listeners of Everything Will Be Okay will gravitate toward this podcast too. Every Monday, I'm going to talk to people I trust in politics as they tell me what they're seeing and thinking in the 2024 election cycle. As they prep me to cover the upcoming election, they'll prep you, the voters, too. Make sure you subscribe to this series on foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts and leave a rating and review.
You know, if you're thinking of selling your home, you know, there's some things you control. You can't control interest rates, can't do so, but you can control, in a very unique market, your real estate agent. You might want to call Nate Evans and the Nate Evans Group. They're there for these unexpected times in your life, and they have experience to figure it out.
Unexpected times is right. I was just talking with somebody who had a new job opportunity. Sometimes it's a kid's on the way or a death in the family. All these situations come out of nowhere and all of a sudden. And if you need to sell your home, Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty can get you that immediate cash offer on your home if that's what you're looking for. There's flexible fees. You can sell your home for the most money possible, and that's the goal. A friend you can trust. Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113. You don't want to let bad advice from inexperienced agents cost you thousands of dollars. So just do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Sell your home with the Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
The best steaks in Central Illinois belong to one institution, and that's the Long Branch Steakhouse in beautiful downtown eclectic Gifford. I'm Jay Lehman. I'm a regular at Long Branch Steakhouse. I take my wife. I take my kids. I love the fried pickles, fried mushrooms, the onion rings, and of course, the steaks. The ribeye is my personal favorite. Open Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 9. Tell Donnie Jay Lehman sent you. Don't forget the mac and cheese. Open Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 9 in downtown Gifford.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Okay, so Jay Lehman was just on absolute fire last night.
Yeah.
It was just absolutely great.
Well, some great energy. What a great game. And now the Hoosiers at 11 a.m. on Saturday the 11th.
Yeah, and we owe them. If you remember last year, we were winning the game with a minute to go, and they went all the way down the field and scored. And, you know, and that's when I came in Monday and said we're going to a bowl.
That's right.
After we lost Indiana. But that team was different. And we had, Devin Witherspoon, all those guys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely had a heck of a year last year in spite of that loss. And so here's Indiana coming off this emotional victory over Wisconsin, which obviously gets your attention because we thought, well, we beat Indiana. Well, they beat us. So, and they beat Wisconsin, and we lost to Wisconsin. So anyway, game on. We're favored. Big game. But, Jay, if you haven't heard it, you got to go back to the podcast because I believe he and Lon, because there is a funky way, unlikely as it is, Illinois could still play for the Big Ten championship. I know.
Wow.
The 10 dominoes have to fall.
Right.
But the fact that that's even possible?
So there was some interweavings of how that could happen between Lon and Jay yesterday.
You got to win 3 games.
Okay.
Got to beat Indiana, Iowa, and Northwestern.
Yes.
And then you got to have, and really, is there any shock if Rutgers beats Iowa? No. Rutgers is 7-3.
Right.
So you got to get Iowa one more loss. You got to get Wisconsin one more loss. I mean, it's just it's a lot of stuff. But I'm just saying. So you say there's a chance.
So you say there's a chance.
You're telling me there's a chance.
Offensive Player of the Week, Isaiah Williams. Freshman of the Week, Caden Fagan with 148 yards, that 54-yard touchdown. I mean, the Big Ten awards came out yesterday, so we're happy about that. Illinois women, by the way, start their season tonight at 6. Against Morehead State. So all the best to Shauna Green and her crew, as we say, go Illini.
Yeah, she is absolutely the real deal. I mean, Shauna Green, I have said it before, people have told me they agree, that's the biggest flight risk we have on campus. That's one you do want to keep because nobody can get 8,000 or 10,000 to watch women's basketball.
Yeah,
actually, we did that last year.
That's right.
So I mean, we'll see what happens. They brought in a lot of, I think, better players. And so I think we're going to be better than we were. And so, terrific job. I was very doubtful as you could get 8,000 or 10,000 to watch. Yes, you can, maybe more. So anyway, it's game on for the Illini women, who you used to be told, come on in and take a seat. There's only 400 people in there, so come on in.
We're giving away.
Now you actually have to look at your ticket.
That's right.
And you have to pay.
Absolutely.
Wow.
LA Chargers beat the New York Jets 27-6. And Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if you saw some of the footage. He's got this camouflage hat on. Of course, everybody's rallying around our veterans this time of year, which I love. But he's taken a lot of throws. That injury was like 8 weeks ago.
No, I mean,
okay. I'm sorry.
You don't come back. The fact that a guy can walk doesn't mean he can play NFL football.
Okay.
And nobody comes back from that. A torn Achilles in 3 months. Sorry. He's 40.
Aaron Rodgers has superpowers.
Yeah, that's right. He goes into dark rooms and all these other things. So not happening, I don't think. And if it does, wow.
Who could have called the Cubs manager, David Ross, getting a pink slip?
I mean, David Ross fired as the Cubs manager. They got Craig Counsell.
5-year, $40 million contract.
$8 million for Craig Counsell.
$8 million. I'm saying it like Austin Powers with my pinky on my... That's like record-breaking.
This is the best news the Cubs have had since 2016.
Wow.
The best news the Cubs have had. This guy can manage. What he did with Milwaukee every year. Sorry about it, Milwaukee.
I didn't even think David Ross was that bad. Did you see that coming?
Listen, if you have a chance to sign LeBron James, that's what I think Craig Counsell is. He's top 5 manager in baseball.
Man.
Easy. He might be the best. I think I've been a fan of his.
Just come across the border there,
I know
Craig.
I mean,
you can even keep your home in Milwaukee if you want.
You know what's going to happen in Milwaukee? They're going to turn normal, which isn't good. They're a small market team. Craig Counsell did a lot with that. And look for the Cubs to be a lot better. And I'm not excited about that for the Cardinals because Cardinals got all kinds of question marks in the front office and managing and everything else. So, So good for the Cubs. I mean, I'd be jacked if I'm a Cub fan because I think Craig Counsell can manage his brains out.
Okay.
I think really a great hire by Chicago and out of the blue. So what does David Ross do? I don't know. We probably got a nice paycheck and said, hey, sorry about that here.
Okay.
And he's fine, but he'd probably go try and manage somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't forget Stevie Jay Travel today. I'll be at the iHotel. If you want to come, Mary Beth's coming. We got Keith from Premier. He's going to explain some of these trips. The one that's getting attention is the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
We're going to hub and spoke, meaning we'll have a fantastic 5-star resort we're staying in.
Nice.
It's a Hyatt in Sedona. Everybody loves Sedona.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of day trips, and it's only like 5 or 6 days long. It's a short trip.
Okay.
But you're going to get 2 rail adventures. You're going to go on a choo-choo train.
I love that.
And it'll be sensational. It's just one of the trips we're talking about. There's the Albuquerque Balloon Festival. Anyway, I bought some coffee for you. Come on over. It's the Alma Mater room.
Okay.
And it's iHotel. See Sam looking. I always love going to the iHotel.
Yeah, me too.
So it's Stevie J Travel today, 10:30.
10:30 today.
Come on over. enjoy some coffee, and we'll see you there and explain. It's just fun to I love that.
And StevieJTravel.com for details.
Yep, you can get that, StevieJ.com, StevieJay.com. Okay, Brian Kilmeade, big star for Fox News, will join me next. Stand by. ESPN 93.5, it's 7:30.
These days, it seems like bank names are changing faster than a forecast in February. But at Iroquois Federal, we're still the same community bank we've always been. For more than 135 years, we've built relationships by helping build the things that matter, whether it's a business, a back porch, or the building blocks of a better life. If you're looking for a bank that's here for the long haul, swing by today and see for yourself why different rules. Iroquois Federal, still friendly, still local, still here.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. IDF soldiers targeting Hamas tunnels in Gaza while the military gives an update.
Richard Hecht, a lieutenant colonel and a spokesman for the Israeli military, detailed what they've recovered in the past few days since those Israeli forces have been operating inside Gaza. He says 375 rifles were recovered by the Israeli military, along with 43 machine guns, 5 anti-aircraft missiles, and 3 anti-tank missiles.
Fox's Trey Yanks in southern Israel. It's election day. Kentucky Democratic incumbent Governor Andy Beshear, looking for a second term, faces a challenge from Republican Attorney General Daniel Cameron. Mississippi Republican Governor Tate Reeves trying to fend off Democrat Brandon Presley. Abortion access on the ballot in Ohio. Voters will decide whether to pass a constitutional amendment guaranteeing an individual right to an abortion and other forms of reproductive health care, including fertility treatments. America is listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Freshman enrollment up at Illinois Public Universities for a third year in a row. Freshman enrollment for this fall jumping by 1.5% compared to the fall semester of the 2021-22 academic year. Total fall undergraduate enrollment this fall increasing by 0.3% compared to the previous year. Illinois is investing an additional $3.5 million to boost your mental health services across the state. The funding being awarded to 19 different applicants. That includes $200,000 for the Illinois Public Health Association. With authorities investigating the deadly cause of a fire in Decatur. The blaze began Saturday morning in the home in the 1500 block of Hunt Street. John McKinney found dead in the kitchen. An autopsy indicates probable carbon monoxide intoxication due to the inhalation of smoke and soot from that fire. Police and fire continue to investigate the cause of that blaze. That's what's happening. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana Saturday, and boy, a phenomenal day's worth of weather yesterday. Equally fine in some areas again for the day-to-day, especially points on southward, but overall still a very mild weather pattern for the next 48 hours. Change to a little more typical early November feel expected for the end part of the week and early on into the weekend, minus any strong wind or any of the white stuff. Big turnaround in temperature readings gets going by mid-next week, perhaps even some record-setting warmth just before the Thanksgiving holiday. Sunshine and 66 today across East Central Illinois. Northeasterly wind, increasing clouds tonight, lows near 50. Could be a few sprinkles tomorrow morning and a couple of showers late in the day tomorrow, turning windy and unseasonably mild at 75. A couple of showers tomorrow night, low down to 48. Breezy, much cooler for the day on Thursday, sun and clouds and 56. Lower 50s for highs Friday, Saturday, mid 50s on Sunday, getting close to 60 Monday and into the 60s next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Ultras, Greg Soldier.
He is a star, ladies and gentlemen. Fox News host, best-selling author Brian Kilmeade. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing great, Steve. Thanks for taking me on.
8th book. I'm losing count.
Yeah, it's the seventh history book. And this is Teddy and Booker T. I'm just trying to move up through time. Started with George Washington, which I think is a good place to start for Americans. I just try to bring up something different about these guys who put out their own autobiographies. But I want to just talk about how it moves the country forward.
Yeah, you know, I never knew about Teddy Roosevelt inviting Booker T. Washington to dinner on a handwritten note. I'd like for my collection to have that handwritten note, Brian.
It's out there. The original is, that's a good question. It probably is in with Booker T's relatives. But I will say that, you know, I have it in the book, the picture of it. And what it is a guy that was friendly with the Vice President Roosevelt. And they were going to collaborate, and he was supposed to go down to Tuskegee. And then McKinley gets shot, and he's supposed to recover, but he dies. And quickly, this young guy is now president of the United States. And first is a letter that says to Booker T, sorry, I have to postpone our meeting. I apologize. The McKinley shot, and I have to stick around here. And when he gets word a few months later that Booker T's in Washington, he sends a note over and says, listen, why don't you come for dinner with my family? And that ends up being a story that was even referenced, and I put it in the special on Fox Nation. John McCain referenced the controversy, which shouldn't be one, but it was for that time, of a black man eating with the family of a white president.
Wow.
And they said how we've changed. Now we have a black president who's hosting that.
Yeah, that's right.
The next dinner.
This is kind of an extension of maybe Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. You wrote a book about that too, didn't you?
And I read Up From Slavery, which was the story of Booker T first, but I said the next one is really to bring me through the Civil War. And I thought, how do you do that book? And not because it's the most written about war in America. How do you do that different? I go, what if I just talk about the relationship those two had and how together they moved America forward? But the other thing is, it should hearten everyone listening, is that they're the most unlikely people you can imagine of being successful. Lincoln, born to abject poverty, and Frederick Douglass, literally a slave who was a fugitive, ends up being this world-renowned speaker and activist. And then you have Booker T. Washington, born a slave, and you have Teddy Roosevelt, wasn't supposed to get out of childhood. His asthma was so bad, they thought he died a couple of times.
Wow.
Then his vision started going south, and they thought he was going blind. And he was about 80 pounds, couldn't go to regular school. So, yeah, his family had money, but he didn't have health. And then he ends up being this robust, swashbuckling guy who personifies what we think the American presidency should be in terms of vigor and vision and patriotism. And he found his partner with Booker T. Washington. That's what I just tried to bring up. You know, people watch the women's soccer team take a knee in the national anthem, and Kaepernick do what he did, and the George Floyd riots, and people are unhappy. But maybe they wouldn't be if they knew how far we've come, especially compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah, I wonder what impact Booker T. Washington had on, I don't know, civil rights.
I think huge. And a lot of people thought he could have done more, but he was in the South where poll taxes and Jim Crow and lynchings were commonplace. And he said, well, that's where I'm born. I'm going to train things around, but I'm not going to do it through a big parade or a protest. I'm going to do it through education. And then he founded Tuskegee, and this one-room shed ends up being this huge sprawling campus. And I put it in the special, like my visits there, one of which I got a thorough tour. It's as if he was going to walk on campus any moment. And it's just, it's an incredible education. It had more people when he was alive enrolled than they had at Harvard.
Yeah, wow.
And
why do you eat this? You eat this stuff up. How come?
I just love getting perspective on the news. You know, the first thing I think about when things happen in the Middle East, the best thing you could do is to look back. How did we get here? You know, when you see George Floyd riots and they talk endemic, you know, we have racism built into the fabric of the country. Well, let's go back. And are there inequities? Absolutely. Slavery was, don't ever soft pedal it. You don't, I don't. That has nothing to do with history. I mean, you tell the history the way it is. You don't skip it. But you also talk about progress, and you compare it to the rest of the world. And we go out of our way to make sure this is the most successful multicultural country ever. But I can't just say it. I just got to find time to study it.
Yeah.
And then I do it through people and their biographies rather than autobiography is my preference, rather than try to get rid of the middleman.
Brian Kilmeade on the Tapman's Toy and Phone line. He's a Fox News star. I got to know the schedule, man. I don't know how you're doing Fox and Friends, and you're doing your radio show 3 hours. Then you're showing up on Jesse Waters at the 5 or something. What the heck? I don't get it. What time do you wake up?
2:30.
What time do you go to bed?
10 o'clock. So I don't sleep that much. I'm not going to live that long. I don't get quality sleep, but I don't really need a lot of sleep.
So you just go, and when they say, hey, can you fill in for Jesse or whatever, you're there. You're fine. You just do it.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much the Fox philosophy, is that if you can help, you can do it. And it's like an honor to be asked. So, you know, if they help, you need help in the 5, okay, go ahead. You know, they gave me 3 or 4 dates already. I make sure it's clear. And then, you know, Jesse, they put that on the schedule 2 weeks ago. And I said, okay, no problem. Do Friday night. And, you know, I do the show, One Nation Saturdays at 9 Eastern but it's been live for the last 6 weeks. A lot of times I can tape that on Friday.
Oh, wow. I mean, I see you, and I'm watching you. It's 8 Eastern at night, 7 for Friday night, and I'm going, he doesn't even look tired. He doesn't even look tired.
Oh, thanks. Don't you hate when people walk up to you and go, wow, you look tired? I'm thinking to myself, how does that help me?
Exactly.
Right? All of a sudden you feel self-conscious after that.
No, that's right. So you're a big sports fan, too, of course. Best team in the NFL this year? Any thoughts?
Yes. I do think it's the Ravens from what I've seen.
Boy,
and I do think the 49ers are the most dynamic, but I think it's all going to be about injuries. They're that close. I couldn't believe how pedestrian the Philadelphia Eagles
No
were.
kidding. They did. And they almost Dallas almost stole that thing last night. It was unbelievable.
Right.
It was the NFL.
And I remember how they looked against the Jets. I mean, they almost gave up against the Jets.
I don't understand the NFL because you cannot predict anything. The Giants are 15.5-point underdogs this week against Dallas. I bet you they cover. I mean, somehow, because I don't know how it doesn't make sense they would. It's crazy.
No, they will not. This guy,
they're that bad.
DeVito's got. I do not see any discernible talent.
He was my quarterback last year. DeVito was at Illinois, and he played starting quarterback. Had a wonderful year, so he didn't look very good. He didn't.
I watched him a little at Syracuse. I enjoyed his guile. I mean, he's a big, strong guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, why is it that they don't feel comfortable letting him throw a pass? And why would you keep someone in your roster
you have to
who
throw
you're not comfortable with?
You have to throw it. You have to throw it. Brian, before I let you go, last few minutes, I want to just ask about the world situation. The fact that we lose an election or something, we have to have a safe place. There's an assault on the truth. I mean, what would your grandfather, who came from Ireland, what would he think about today's society? Came here, got to America, 1920 or something, to 10, whatever it was. What would he think of us today? What happened to us?
Well, I think it's all there. I mean, it's like, for example, all the talent's on the roster. We just got to get our heads on straight. So we're in a pretty good spot, especially compared to the rest of the world. We're still on the side of good, not evil. It's nice of evil to wear black hats like Hamas.
Yeah, right.
And we know that Iran, Russia, China are not only conspiring to beat us economically and possibly militarily, they're also beating us on information. And I think the thing that's going to be coming pretty apparent within 3 years is that a lot of this unrest is fomented by outside sources. And when I find out that half these people are marching because TikTok newsfeed has Palestinians as a worthwhile cause, and I realize that these people, as much as I have great pride in being the number one news network, the next generation doesn't seem to be watching us enough. They're getting it on TikTok, and I think we're being manipulated to a degree, and I just do think it would help to have great leadership. In the past, we've always had the right people at the right time to bring us together. You know, I was too young, you were too young, but, Reagan takes over from Carter, and immediately our self-esteem picks up. You know, I watched this governor in Kentucky, and even if he does lose, he doesn't go out of his way to insult Republicans.
Yeah.
He knows what the Republicans want. And I see the mayor of Dallas say, I understand Democrats became a Republican. I just think that the next generation is not going to be the most polarizing leader. It's going to be the one that does the most with people out of power. And I think that is going to come into fashion. And that's my hope. And I think a lot of things will straighten out. I mean, if you open up the border and let everybody in, of course we can't afford it. If you tell people to go ahead and empty your hotels and bring illegals in there, of course the city's going to pay the price. If you stop putting bad guys in jail ever, of course society's going to go down. But everything I mentioned is so correctable.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think, and we have all these natural resources and this enterprising culture. In the big picture, I think this is a convulsion.
All right, lastly, I don't think it's Trump-Biden. I don't think either or. I just don't think one of them is not going to be there. And maybe both. I don't know. What do you think about 24 in the presidential election?
I would think this is the best team that Trump ever had. I mean, they are so organized, between polls and messaging. Is Trump going to rise to the occasion? If Trump just acts, doesn't answer every challenge.
I know.
Just runs on his record.
Yeah.
I think he would win. But Biden can't. This is the problem, and Axelrod talked about it. We all know it. It's not a matter of the economy turning around, there would be a recession being avoided, or Israel wiping out Hamas and ending this thing, and Ukraine holding off Russia. The problem is that Biden can't talk. He doesn't know the policy. He's not clued in. He's very angry. He is not well. So it doesn't matter pandemic. It doesn't matter strategy. It doesn't matter what you're running on. How the hell is he going to articulate a message? I don't know anybody that thinks he hasn't declined rapidly.
No question. Teddy and Booker T, How Two American Icons Blaze the Path for Racial Equality. That's the book. Brian Kilmeade, who's on Fox a lot, and he's a big star, coming up on another bestseller. I'm pretty doggone sure of this, Brian, but I really appreciate your time, and thanks for joining me today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and if I'm going to be in your, you'll find out. Go to BrianKilmeade.com. We're setting up the tour, and hopefully see everybody in person.
Also, your radio show is heard all over the place. How can people listen online to that?
Absolutely, yeah. And you can watch on Fox Nation, but BrianKilmeadeShow.com, you can listen online. And I do this other thing is I go on stage and talk about all the books.
Awesome.
I got a few events coming around. You'll see it. And with every ticket, you get a book. And Fox Nation gives you 6 free months.
That's BrianKilmeade.com. BrianKilmeade.com. They can look you up, see where you are. Got it. All right, Brian, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Go get him, Steve. Thanks.
Brian Kilmeade, Fox News, ESPN 93.5 on the Tapman's Towing phone line.
Good chat.
All right, thank you. Let's check our sports headlines.
All righty. Number 25, Illinois, starting out the season with a victory over the EIU Panthers.
It was only 80-52. Brad Underwood was not happy with something.
We talked ad nauseum about offensive rebounding. We had 1 offensive rebound from our starters. So that'll tell you where they were at. That's disappointing. I'm disappointed in that. Extremely happy with our guys off the bench. I thought Luke Goody came in and immediately sparked us. Got a couple good looks. It's no coincidence that the week before the Kansas scrimmage, Quincy Guerrier was the best player on the court. This week, it's no coincidence that Dre was the best player on the court in practice. And the correlation is very much evident in terms of their production.
Talking about Dre Gibbs Lawhorn. Might want to remember that name.
It felt good, exposure really is not my focus. It's just coming out, playing hard, providing for my team, making sure my team gets to win it.
That's what you say. It's perfect. He's a freshman.
Absolutely.
One of the best guys that Brad has ever coached as a freshman, as a guard. I mean, it's high compliment here.
I see a text or two about our free throws. It just seemed like we kept missing those.
Listen, that's just, it's becoming, what?
What is it?
We got to shoot better.
They're bouncing around the hoop, but they don't go in.
You have to make free throws. I don't get it. Last year was not very good. This year, we were 12 out of, 23 last night. I don't get it.
Right.
You have to make free throws. Nobody's guarding you. You're so good. You just got to make them. You just got to make them. I just believe, Johnny says it all the time, it's just a question of focus. It has to be critical for you. It has to be a priority for you to make your free throws. No good team ever in March misses all their free throws. You got to make free throws.
Yeah.
I know it's easier said than done, but you're too good to miss that shot.
217-359-2255 if you want to chime in on our Tapman's Towing phone line. Did you see, it was said over 15,000 people, but it didn't look like that. Maybe that was tickets sold.
Tickets sold.
Okay.
I mean, we have a lot of tickets sold. And early in the season, that's normal.
Sure.
It's just going to be a lot of Section C, a.k.a. 200 level, that are going to be empty. And so there was energy, and you certainly have, this is what you do. You don't start out with Kansas in a real game. You do an exhibition. You have to see where you are, because all you're going to do is look back. We'll forget all these games.
Of course.
It's going to be, what's your record? What's your record? And so you want to be 14-3 and that kind of stuff. So.
Next game up will be Oakland Friday at 7. And then the next day, of course, 11-11 at 11 a.m., we've got the Hoosiers at Memorial Stadium. Tonight, we have the Illinois women in action starting their season at 6 o'clock against Morehead State. So go Illini. That kind of brings you up to date with all of that. Some Big Ten awards yesterday. Offensive Player of the Week, Isaiah Williams, and Freshman of the Week, Caden Fagan.
Man.
And looking forward to the game against the Hoosiers. Sincere Harris, by the way, on the basketball trend, is redshirting in order to do more work in the weight room.
This is what Sincere said. Derek Piper reposted it. It says, thank you. This is Sincere Harris. Thank you for all respecting my decision to redshirt for basketball. Your understanding and support mean the world to me. Knowing that you all respect and stand by this choice allows me to focus on my personal growth and development. Also be there for my team during this time. So he'll be around. He just won't be playing. And we've got a lot of players, and we can probably get by and let Sincere get better because he wants to improve his shooting, wants to get a little bigger and stronger. He's 6'4", 170, so they probably want to put a little weight on him. But has he got a motor? And so Brad said instead of 10 minutes a game, maybe we get a 25-minute guy, and that's a game changer.
Yeah.
So I'm excited that Sincere will be back older, bigger, better, faster, all those things next year. And I think we can probably spare him this year with all the people we have. So
another story we're seeing, Big Ten notifies Michigan possible discipline on the sign stealing, probe. Possible discipline where you Wolverines,
they were asking.
We might possibly discipline you, Wolverines.
It might happen. There's kind of a mob action here going after it. Might happen. This time it might happen. We'll see.
Let's bet.
Michigan's asking, what would we bet?
I'm telling you, Michigan gets away with everything.
They might. You never know. All right, Dr. Todd, it's Tuesday. That's next.
So we'll get everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, Vicinity. Unseasonably mild weather back into play over the next 36 to 48 hours. A little bit of a respite back to more seasonal norms come Thursday and into the weekend. Another big warm-up, perhaps some near record-setting warmth the middle to late parts of next week and up to just about the Thanksgiving holiday. 66 for the day today. Nothing to shake a stick at with temperatures above average there. Sunshine, northeasterly wind, creasing clouds. 54 tonight. A few sprinkles late. Maybe a couple of sprinkles around tomorrow morning and a couple of rain showers late in the day tomorrow. Variably cloudy, windy, and unseasonably warm at 75 degrees. That south wind 15 to 25 and gusty. A couple of spells of rain here for early tomorrow night. Low down to 48 for the day on Thursday. Breezy, much cooler, sun and clouds and 56 there. 52 to 53 Friday and Saturday. Mid-50s on Sunday. Nights in the low to mid-30s. Warm-up gets going into next week with highs close to 60 on Monday. Into the 60s on Tuesday. Dare we forecast some 70-degree weather mid-next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Rochas, Greg Solier.
Are you tired of getting the short end of the stick and always being stuck with cold water for your showers? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing is here to help. With current tax incentives and rebates, you can save up to $900 on a high-efficiency tankless water heater, unlimited hot water, and saving on your energy bills. It seems like the best gift you could give your home. With the current promotion of 0% financing for qualified applicants, you can't afford not to call. 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control. There are steps you can take to help plan for a better financial future. Now's the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Hi.
I think that was Boof. We have to stop the program. I think that was Boof. Here he is. Boof is awake. He'll be paid today now. Yep. It is Dr. Todd Likens, the Pet Pro, Madison, Kirby, and Champaign. Thanksgiving is not far away. Christmas around the corner. Where do people go? I mean, I'll just come to your house and give you everything I have because there needs to be a premier place where doggies can go because the dogs are just you just don't want to take them out of their environment. We don't.
I know.
It's not easy out there. Todd.
And I feel like some places where you do board your pet, it can be stressful with so many other pets. And I've picked up dogs from the border and they're thirsty because they're not getting enough water and because they don't want them to pee all the time. You know what I mean? It's just issues sometimes.
Yeah, it's Halloween's over, and you gotta, just like they're putting out the Christmas displays places, and it seems crazy early, but if you don't line up your pet for the holidays now, you're not going to find somebody, whether it be somebody coming to your house or one of the boarding facilities. I always say start your search with, always hearing what your friends have got to say about places is always a good start. But then if they let you go and look at the facilities, that's a good sign they're being open about what they're doing. And check those out. And if you got somebody come to your house, very important. They come a couple times so your pets get to know them. I've had kitties that people were taken care of in the house. They didn't see him. And it turns out the door to the bedroom got closed with the kitty in there, and they were locked away from their food and water.
Yep.
And the people didn't know where the kitty was.
That's right.
Well, one time Bella was staying at Todd and Gina's house, and I believe the word Gina used was needy. Because they normally know that Wednesdays are pot roast night, and you didn't put a crock pot out, Todd. Wasn't Bella's fault. What's your problem?
Yeah, she felt like she was at the soup kitchen. I'm sorry.
It's Janet says if you come back as our dog, you're probably in pretty good shape.
Right.
If there is, I mean, because we just, it is amazing from the days in Philo when dogs ran free and they stayed outside to now where you're making sure they're covered at night in your bed. I mean, what happened? Wow, what happened?
I know.
Big change. I always tell this story of my dad was a large animal veterinarian, and I grew up, going on calls with him. But there was one time I saw a doggy with a broken leg, and my dad offered to put a splint on the guy. I said, "Nah, he'll be fine." Now, nowadays, if somebody said that, you'd be reported, you'd be in jail for abuse, and that was just accepted back in the day.
Yeah.
So things have changed.
They sure have. All right, so people can still get the dog nice and clean. Do you still have room to get that done here in the next few weeks?
Absolutely. We're encouraging our clients to get the spots because they're going to fill up real quick here because people are going to start going, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?"
Yeah.
And it'll be crazy.
And it's like
it's always crazy.
35, $40 to wash your dog at your place. It's crazy.
Yeah, 35. Mostly 35. And of course, you join our team and become a client here, and then you save $5 a visit. So
as you go around, that's just unheard of to have that kind of a number for a wash and clip.
Right.
So pretty good. Okay, Dr. Todd Likens, Pet Pro, Madison, Kirby, and Champaign. How can people connect with you?
Well, Miss Taylor's always on the job. Seems like 7 days a week, just like her dad. 217-355-5051.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
I can't help but tell the Troy story. Troy was a German Shepherd. We grew up in Philo with Troy.
Mm-hmm.
Troy was a German Shepherd with a blonde nose.
Okay.
Unusual-looking German Shepherd. Brother Greg found Troy up in just a stray in Champaign, brought him home.
Okay.
Troy was, Johnny says, Troy, German Shepherd, Troy's great-great-great-great-great-grandfather bit Hitler in the ankle. So that's what Johnny says.
I see.
So a hero
could
dog.
happen.
So back in the day when Herman Duggins was the water meter man around here, so he'd read water. So back in the day when dogs ran free, Herman was trapped by his truck. He couldn't move. The dogs had formed a semicircle barking at him, and he was scared to death.
Uh-oh.
Here comes Troy out of nowhere.
Here he comes to save the day.
But Troy runs to Herman, gets on his legs, and barks the dogs away.
Mm-hmm.
And Herman said, and he was very serious, he said, "That dog saved my life." Troy, hero dog.
Stand down, fellow dogs. This one's friendly.
But, I mean, there were literally a dozen dogs that had Herman pinned.
I could see it.
But, I mean, back then, they pooped everywhere. Everything's just whatever.
I know.
It was just a different era.
Oh, I had a porch, and I had hours and hours of imagination and playtime with my 5 neighborhood dogs. And
I was
yeah. And we had the bowl out for water, and Nellie and Pippin.
It
and
takes
Moose
a village to raise a dog.
Louie, oh, yeah.
No.
And Louie was the older dog, and he always had his spot on our porch looking out.
Dogs ran free.
But they loved the cool concrete and the shade, and it was just heaven for me growing up. I just love my town, Tolono.
Okay, we're going to break. We'll be right back after the news. Stevie Jay Travel Show 10:30 this morning at the iHotel. I bought coffee for you, so come on over.
That's right.
We'll have fun dreaming about where you're going in 2024. This is WSJK, Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana. The news in a minute.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy, in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Hey, don't forget, we'll be live at Pia's this Friday, but Diane will have tickets to the football game on Saturday at 11 with Indiana and the basketball game for Friday night against Oakland.
Yes.
You'll have plenty of tickets for that.
After 3, join us at 1609 West Springfield Avenue.
I believe it's going to be a nice day. I think we could be outside again.
Eric and I talked about that ahead of the EIU game yesterday. We'll see.
All right, we'll see. It's supposed to be sunny and 53.
That's right.
All right, the news now. It is 8 o'clock in Champaign-Urbana.
Abortion is on the ballot on Election Day. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, directly in Ohio, where voters will today answer a question: if abortion rights should be written into the state constitution. The issue is on the ballot indirectly in Virginia, where control of the state legislature is at stake. Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin said this morning if the GOP takes the House and the Senate there,
I will support one bill that will protect life at 15 weeks, a bill that will have exceptions for rape and incest and when the life of the mother is at risk.
Now, governors in 2 states are up for re-election today. Democrat Andy Beshear being challenged in Kentucky by Republican Daniel Cameron. Mississippi voters will decide if Brandon Presley, a second cousin of Elvis, should unseat Republican Governor Tate Reeves. It's been 1 month since Hamas launched its terror attack, killing 1,400 Israelis and taking more than 240 hostages, starting a war still being raged.
I just got off of a briefing with the Israeli military to get the latest information about what's taking place inside the Gaza Strip behind me. We understand that Israeli forces are engaged in battles with Hamas militants. They say overnight they destroyed a command center where there were anti-tank guided missiles and other weapons.
Fox's Trey Ying's near the border. Israel's prime minister says he will consider brief pauses in fighting to get more humanitarian aid into Gaza. Now, this war has led to protests here in the U.S., and one of the demonstrations in California got violent.
The death of 69-year-old Paul Kessler officially ruled a homicide. Now prosecutors say they have not yet ruled out pursuing this case as a hate crime. Kessler attended a rally just north of Los Angeles on Sunday. This rally was to honor victims murdered during the Hamas terror attack on Israel 1 month ago today. Witnesses say Kessler was hit in the head with a megaphone from a pro-Palestinian counter-protester. He then fell backward, hitting his head on the ground.
Fox's Todd Pyro. The Supreme Court will hear a gun owner's rights case this morning, challenging a law that blocks someone under a domestic violence restraining order from having a gun. America's listening to Fox News.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Why are central banks quietly amassing mountains of gold? Because they know the dollar won't last. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to diversify your IRA or 401k into physical gold with Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, get a free info kit on gold by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit now.
On this election day, there's voting in 37 states, and one race in New York is getting attention because a candidate used to be a convict.
For decades, Yusef Salaam has been known as a member of the so-called Central Park Five, but he could soon go by a different title, New York City Council member. Salaam, a Democrat who won his primary election in a landslide, is running unopposed to represent a district in Harlem where he grew up. It comes more than 2 decades after DNA evidence was used to overturn the convictions of Salaam and 4 other black and Latino men in the 1989 rape and beating of a white jogger in Central Park. Salaam spent almost 7 years in prison before being exonerated in 2002. In New York City, Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Since this is an off-year election, control of Congress is not up for grabs as lawmakers keep debating aid to Israel and Ukraine.
President Biden wants Congress to approve a $105 billion emergency spending package that includes funding for Israel, Ukraine, and the southern border. Many Senate Republicans are on board, but some want certain conditions to be met on the southern border. The effort is led by the ranking members of the Judiciary and Homeland Security Committees, releasing a lengthy list of policy changes that includes resuming border wall construction and forcing migrants requesting asylum to go through a port of entry. Speaker Mike Johnson has said the House would consider tying Ukraine aid and border security together, but still plans on voting for different parts of the emergency package separately. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
As House Republicans keep investigating Hunter Biden's overseas business dealings and if his father played any role, which President Biden denies. Special counsel David Weiss, who's also investigating the president's son, will testify in private this morning before the Judiciary Committee. On Wall Street, stock futures are now mixed before today's trading, down for the Dow, up for the NASDAQ. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Authorities investigating the cause of a deadly fire in Decatur. It began Saturday morning in a home at the 1500 block of Hunt Street. John McKinney found dead in the kitchen. An autopsy indicates probable carbon monoxide intoxication. That's due to the inhalation of smoke and soot from the blaze. Monticello police releasing new details about Sunday morning's hazmat crash. It happened in the area of Kratz Road and South Hamilton Street. The truck initially reported by dispatch to have had steam coming out of it after the vehicle hit a tree. Officers said the truck transporting anhydrous tanks, which collided with trees when that truck hitch broke. University of Illinois Granger College of Engineering launching the world's first public quantum network this weekend at the Urbana Free Library. Networks Link will send photons through fiber optic cables from the labs of U of I's campus to the library. The goal is to make quantum information more accessible to everybody for secure communication with quantum computers. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim Miller. Weather time, ESPN 93.5, brought to you by friends at Busey for over 150 years, member FDIC. I believe you're up and working now, sir.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We are loud and clear. Well done, sir. Well done.
Man, it sure is a nice day. What are we up to, 70 today?
Well, I tell you, this is crazy good.
Yeah, 66, by the way, Diane, will be the forecast high. We have got the readings of the upper 40s and lower 50s right now, so not quite the warmth of yesterday, but boy, we have another encore day's worth of weather just like that tomorrow. And a little bit of a setback here as we get a couple of cold fronts to come through our area. Not a lot of moisture, so if you're still hankering to fool around in the backyard or trying to cross the T's, dot the I's on back 40 work, harvest, fall cleanup, anhydrous, whatever you got going on, weather will fit the bill quite nicely right through the part of the week, into the weekend. Next week, too. And next week, too, second half of the week, we start a big warming trend, probably some record-setting warmth getting close to us here before Thanksgiving. Otherwise, 66 today is about 10 above average with sunshine, north breeze. We still have some foggy areas none too far south of Champaign and Champaign County here. Advisory there till 9 o'clock this morning. Down to 50 for the low tonight with a late-night sprinkle. Tomorrow turning windy, warmer in the afternoon, variable cloudy skies, maybe a quick shower or a sprinkle in spots for the morning, and later in the day, better chance for a couple of rain showers into tomorrow evening, but well under a quarter inch, I think, out of any of this. No big deal with field work in mind. 75 tomorrow, but only 56 on Thursday. That's normal average for the time of year with a northwest breeze and a partly sunny sky. Then coolish for the weekend, but dry. 52 Friday, 53 Saturday, Sunday high to 56. Nights will be down into the low to mid 30s. And then a recovery getting close to 60 on Monday, into the 60s Tuesday, and maybe some 70-degree weather due in the second half of next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is retired Lieutenant Commander, New York Police Department, Long Island, New York, our friend Joe Cardinale. How are you, my friend?
Good morning. How are you doing today, my friend?
We're doing good. We're fine. How's everything in one of the greatest cities in the world?
NYC.
NYC's a great place, but man, all kinds of issues that we've not really dealt with before. Okay, as far as policing goes, what do we know? We're retraining. What am I reading about this, Joe?
You're reading about a study that was done, and now the new term is implicit bias. All right, so you have to really look at that one. So they give it to a college to do the study, university out in Washington, of all places, so far left.
Right.
All right, and they do this study, and they agree that since the George Floyd incident, that they've actually what they're trying to say to me is that they put the screw to police so much that the police are finally coming around to see things their way, which is the furthest thing from the truth.
Okay.
All they did was
so you're telling me
police
police are woke now? Is that what you're telling me, Joe?
No, they would like to think they are.
Yeah.
They're trying to justify their study. All right. So meanwhile, you know what the funny part is? And I read this and I go, we have Benedict Mayorkas, all right, that is running Homeland Security. And this, they'll go after thousands of cops, but they won't go after the top guy who is causing more problems in this country by his ethics, all right, or lack of ethics. All right, and nobody goes after him. I mean, if you saw the what do you call it, the cross examination, if you would say, between Josh Hawley and him, Josh Hawley's questions, and you try to flip it around on him. But the point is, they will go systematically across the United States and label all cops bad because of one incident. But you have one individual who's responsible for so much going on in this country, and nobody holds him accountable. Where's the study for that?
Well, why don't we just flip it? I always flip things. Okay, if something's up with Trump, I say, would this be the same for Biden? The answer is no. It's not equal justice under the law. And so if you have the Heritage Foundation do this study, they wouldn't find the same things. The left to say it's biased. It's biased. It's just we kind of are into this thing where we kind of understand what stuff is. I think more and more are. We know that we've lost the media for the most part, and that's just what it is. What police have gone through. Listen. I have interviewed, how many people have we interviewed? One person a month for the last 8 years, 7 years of police officers that come in because we honor law enforcement here every month on our 4 radio stations. We honor police and say they're wonderful. We have no idea what it would be like if nobody answers 911 and I got to defend my backyard. Okay, so I've not met one person where I'm going, listen. They're just all trying to help people on not their best day, Joe. Why can't people believe that?
Because it's the majority of what they think is right. I mean, it's so bad when stations like this and iHeart and Fox are the only ones that cover everything across the board. But when you have people having things rammed down their throats that police are bad and that the police have to do a job like this, I mean, we have spoken about this before, about how they want a Stepford Police Department to do and say as they want, all right, and to act as they want. But what they've done is they've made policing reactive instead of proactive, all right? They have the recruitment is at an all-time low, all right? And the only place the cops want to go is places like Florida and cities that actually appreciate them for what they do, all right? They're running from the bigger cities because, the people are putting the screws to them.
Well, when they were talking about this years ago, Joe, I said, well, gosh, let me think about this because I'm a rocket scientist. That means crime will go up. Huh. Well, what a shock, right? What a shock.
What a shock, but we did call this, though, and we've been saying it. Everybody thinks, we're just, exaggerating, and it's, like, oh, the sky is falling, Chicken Little. This is what they attribute it to. Like, oh, you guys are always blowing things out of proportion. Well, let's look at California. What was the last discussion we had about how California is now suing the criminal justice system because they're not enforcing, the law the way they should be? Yeah. All right, but what did it take to get to that point? Crime going out of control, homeless, all right, shooting up on the streets and everything, and this has become acceptable. That's the scary part. People see this as acceptable, but you know what? Until it hits home for them, until somebody breaks into their home, or God forbid, beats somebody up in their family, or commits a serious felony against somebody in their family, they're not going to change their minds. They're going to be the lemmings that they are, going to the polls. They're going to vote party lines instead of what's the right thing to do to get the right people into office. And today's a big day, and I hope in most states it reflects the disgust that most of us are seeing.
Yeah, okay, we'll see. It's we've got stuff, Joe Cardinelli. How can people find you, connect with Joe Cardinelli, a man that makes a lot of sense?
I'm on joecardinelli.com. All right, they can. I was on a certain site, and I called somebody a moron, and they said, "Oh, you can't say that yet." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did I offend you? Did I offend you? Well, I'm so sorry."
Somebody had to rent a safe space for them because you called them a moron. That's amazing.
Yeah,
so insensitive of you, sir. Listen, we always appreciate having you on, my friend.
Anytime, and hopefully today makes a difference in some places.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what the ballot box says in some of these states. It'd be
there's like 5 different elections going on.
Yeah, well, fascinating to see, and if it even means anything. And then I'm leery of drop boxes and stuff like that. So I can't shake it. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you. Joe Cardinelli on the Tapman's Towing phone line. ESPN 93.5 sports headlines.
EIU was taken down by our Illini with a 28-point victory. The 80-52 was the final with number 25 Illinois on top. Next game will be Oakland at 7 o'clock, and Ohio State, narrowly beat Oakland. I think it was 79-73, but it wasn't.
Closer than you think.
Yeah, that's right. So Oakland could be a contender for us too. I don't know, but anyway, Friday the 10th after 3, you'll join ESPN 93.5 and our crew as we broadcast live from Pia's. We'll have tickets to that game. We'll have tickets to the game that starts at 11 a.m. on Veterans Day, November 11th, where it's Dad's Day, and a salute to the military and the flyover. Lots of fun. If you're wanting to win tickets, come on out and join us. Lots of free giveaways. We're looking forward to the show. Sincere Harris redshirting to work on his weight room routine.
His development is just going slower than they expect. He's been hitting the weight. He's been doing all the stuff. It just, some guys maybe mature at a different level, and maybe his body's just... In any event, he's redshirting. Sincere Harris, one of my favorite players, when they had a full court press, good luck getting by Sincere Harris. So he's trying to get bigger, stronger, faster, all those things, and shoot better. And so next year we'll see what we have. But a whole year of development for a kid that's 19, good news for Illinois basketball.
Yeah. After a slow start, really true freshman Dre Gibbs Lawhorn looked great with 18 points. Let's find out how our Illini women do tonight at 6 as they start the season against Morehead State, if you'd like to head on out. Big Ten awards yesterday. Offensive Player of the Week, Isaiah Williams, of course, had a great game up in Minnesota. Freshman of the Week, Caden Fagan, with 148 yards and that 54-yard touchdown out of Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond. And speaking of that, we've got Unity Rockets in action, and they'll be playing Mount Carmel at 2 o'clock and hosting that game as the third round of the playoffs continues.
These are the quarterfinals, Diane. Quarterfinals.
Oh, thank you.
If you win that game, you're in the Final Four.
Excellent.
So it's obviously another big game.
Scott Hamilton and the crew really been working hard. And congratulations to the girls cross country team with their three-peat on the state title on that. LA Chargers over the New York Jets in NFL action last night, 27-6. Rodgers seen throwing the touchdown or passes and stuff ahead of the game 8 weeks after that torn Achilles. So that has a lot of pictures out there right now. Panthers and Bears will come our way on Thursday. Cubs manager David Ross was fired.
Wow.
So Craig Console will step up from the Milwaukee Brewers to manage the Cubs with a
$8 million a year,
$40 million contract.
$8 million to manage baseball has to be an all-time high.
I'll take that.
Yeah, it would be okay. Remember, it's a 6-month season. 7 if you're really good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Indiana Pacers over San Antonio, 152-111. Milwaukee and the Bucks over Brooklyn's Nets, 129-125. Chicago Bulls beat Utah, 130-113. Io with 8 points in his 16 minutes playing.
None of you are old enough to remember Jim Croce, but I am. And I really liked Jim Croce. He was 30 years old. He died in a plane crash in the early 1970s. And he has songs out there still that you might recognize. Anyway, AJ, his son, who was very young when his father died, is coming to the Virginia. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Also, if you didn't hear Luke Altmaier, you can podcast at steviejay.com and listen to Luke. He sounded good yesterday. Indiana has no idea whether he'll be available on Saturday, and neither do we. He said, I'm getting better every day, but if I'm not able to go, we're in good hands. Referencing John Paddock, who came in and was just an amazing 3 passes for a touchdown to win the game.
Right.
So we'll see what Luke Altmaier, but he sounded really, really good, but it was a head-related injury. So we're talking, I don't know if he's in concussion protocol, but in any event, that most likely would be a little bigger story if we hadn't seen what the backup did.
Yeah.
But anyway, we hope Luke's back. Luke Altmaier's back for Saturday, and if he's not, it'll be John Paddock. And we'll just have to go. But I don't even know if Brett Bielema knows at this point. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But Luke sounded good. You can podcast that. If you didn't hear Jay Lehman and you want a trip to the Energyville,
StevieJay.com. We've also got Luke Goody on after 4 today.
4:05 with Luke Goody, who had a nice game last night with
great three-pointers.
3 threes. He's the 40% lifetime shooter on threes, what Brad said.
All right.
We want Luke Goody to shoot the ball.
That's right.
All right, be right back. Fox Business Minute, and then we talk about the Virginia Theater. Coming up.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana Saturday, and boy, a phenomenal day's worth of weather yesterday. Equally fine in some areas again for the day today, especially points on southward, but overall still a very mild weather pattern for the next 48 hours. Change to a little more typical early November feel expected for the end part of the week and early on into the weekend, minus any strong wind or any of the white stuff. Big turnaround in temperature readings gets going by mid next week, perhaps even some record-setting warmth just before the Thanksgiving holiday. Sunshine and 66 today across East Central Illinois. Northeasterly wind, increasing clouds tonight, lows near 50. Could be a few sprinkles tomorrow morning and a couple of showers late in the day tomorrow, turning windy and unseasonably mild at 75. A couple of showers tomorrow night, low down to 48. Breezy, much cooler for the day on Thursday, sun and clouds and 56. Lower 50s for highs Friday, Saturday, mid 50s on Sunday, getting close to 60 Monday and into the 60s next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Uber Technologies is reporting a mixed quarter. Though Wall Street was expecting more from its earnings, Uber was seeing more demand for bookings, trips, and was seeing more active customers per month. There were 2.4 billion trips completed on Uber in the summer quarter, up 25% from a year ago. Home builder D.R. Horton is betting that housing demand will push forward despite higher mortgage rates. D.R. Horton is raising its forecast for next year, saying despite continued higher mortgage rates and inflationary pressures, net sales orders increased 39% from a year ago. It says both supply and demand of affordable homes remains limited. People are back to the gym. New Hampshire-based Planet Fitness is reporting better than expected earnings and revenue. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jen Kosola, invested in you.
New from the Fox News Podcast Network.
I'm Emily Campagno, and this is the Fox True Crime Podcast.
And I had nothing to do with her disappearance.
I sit down with the people who lived the nightmares.
I was in shock. I was just devastated.
The investigators who tirelessly worked on the case.
And I really hope that they can catch this guy.
Bringing you closer to the story than you ever thought possible.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
These are the stories that keep you up at night.
Like every bank, there's a time every day when we stop making loans. But at Iroquois Federal, we never stop making a difference. Thanks to an amazing team of employees who give back to their local communities all over Central Illinois. From hospital boards and local school programs to Kiwanis and the United Way, Iroquois Federal employees donated more than 1,000 volunteer hours last year. And we'll do it again next year, because the only thing we like more than making a loan is making a difference. Iroquois Federal, still friendly, still local, still here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Everybody needs insurance, and that's why I love Kyle Lewis at Insurance Providers Group. This is Jay Lehman, All-American linebacker. Kyle provides auto, life, health, and all kinds of commercial lines of insurance. They are my one-stop shop for all my insurance needs, and all my rental properties are insured by IPG. That's why you need to email Kyle at IPGINS.com. Kyle at IPGINS.com.
Fleetwood Mac Rumors is coming to the Virginia Theater on November 15th.
Rumors of Fleetwood Mac, the world's finest tribute to Fleetwood Mac, returns to the stage at the Virginia Theater Wednesday, November 15th. Founding member Mick Fleetwood actually endorsed Rumors of Fleetwood Mac, channeling the spirit of Fleetwood Mac, performing hits like Go Your Own Way and Dreams and Rhiannon.
Get your tickets now at thevirginia.org.
Yeah, that's a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, baby. I love it.
Stephen Benz, the Virginia Theater. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fantastic on this beautiful fall day. How are you folks?
Fine. Big announcement from you yesterday. Yes. This is what's coming to the Virginia in April.
Like the pine trees lining the winding road.
A.J. Croce, the son of Jim Croce, who died tragically 50 years ago in a plane crash. How about that? That took some work to get done, didn't it, Stephen?
Well, we're so excited about this one. He's going to be with us next April the 9th. And tickets for that one go on sale this coming Friday at 10 a.m. And this is the 50th anniversary. You're right. It was just September the 20th. If you can believe it.
So because it was 50 years ago, 50 is the key word for the pre-sale tomorrow, right, Stephen?
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah, you can go to our website tomorrow, and there is a password-protected pre-sale going on with the the passcode 50. Spelled out.
I love
Well, I tell you what, I mean, I could probably listen to this music all day. But then again, I'm old.
Well,
okay?
will it be too darn loud at the Virginia, though?
No, this part
on
won't
April
be too
9th?
good. This part mostly I have to sit by Roger Ebert. No, I can go in on this one. This will be great. I mean, Stephen, this is, you have brought, I think, more and more big-time shows than Stephen Bentz. What are you doing, man? What, are you some big promoter now? What are you doing?
It has been so exciting, and so much of it has been community organizations coming to us, wanting to partner with the Park District, wanting to put on shows in the space. You know, we just had Krannert Center, their theater department, performing Rent, the musical, a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
That was an amazing experience for those students. Last week, of course, the Champaign Park District's own youth theater program put on Willy Wonka Jr., and we're just keeping busy. That's all I'll say.
How many kids in that cast of Wonka, I wonder?
A lot.
Huge. I think the cast for those programs usually runs about 50.
Exactly.
And everyone
Yeah.
gets a chance to be on stage. That's the thing that's so nice about that program. We've got so many young people and grown-ups now that come to us and say their first time on a stage was at the Virginia Theater in that program.
It's just this iconic place. I mean, it really, really is. I love the Virginia Theater. It is just wonderful to go in. And
Was it 100 years last year?
I think so, something like that.
You know what? It's now 102. It's getting up there.
Okay, very good.
Wow.
Now, speaking of kids, Dinosaur World Live looks fascinating at thevirginia.org as I clicked on that. And tickets available now for that Wednesday, January 24th show. Let's talk about what that's going to look like with these puppeteers.
That's right. This one's really cool. It actually originated in Britain. It was a London show at first and blew up there, and then they started touring it internationally. So it's in the States now for, I think, its third tour nationally, coast to coast. And we're just super thrilled that this one's coming in. These are life-size, really detailed, beautiful recreations of most of the dinosaurs that you've heard of and a few that I haven't heard of. And they're all, like you said, they're all actually animated by very skilled specialist puppeteers, and there's a plot to it. You know, it has a number of human characters in it who act as explorers and kind of take you through an adventure with the dinosaurs. You learn more about them, but most of all, it's an adventure and it's fun.
Well, one thing that we talked about is the kind of Q&A afterwards for everybody. It's not a special high-priced ticket, but that Dinosaur World Live is really interactive. I love that.
I love that, too. You're right. In terms of your VIP programs, this one's come one, come all. And it's going to be right after the show, which is just about an hour long. And then there's a 15-minute meet and greet with the dinosaurs and the character actors right after the show, and that's open to everyone.
Stephen, we were expecting Buddy Guy, the legend, to be in town this week, but the Damn Right Farewell Tour has now been bumped to the end of June, right?
It is, yeah, or it has, you're right. And that was going to be tomorrow, right? That was going to be on Wednesday, and we're just so disappointed, but we're glad that, it's apparently not a super serious health issue. He's just having some difficulties, and he's had to put a little bit of a pause on his tour here this fall. And so a number of those dates have shifted to next summer, including ours.
All right, so a week from tomorrow, Rumors, and this is actually them. They sound just like Fleetwood Mac, for Pete's sake.
Yeah,
wow.
Mick Fleetwood endorsed this tribute band for Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. That's a little rare, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I would just probably rule of thumb. If it's at the Virginia, Stephen Bentz booked it, it'll be good.
That's right.
You sit at your desk with feet up with a cigar now that you're a big-time promoter, dude? I mean, that's...
I don't, but that sounds like a really good idea. I might try that today.
Listen, congratulations. You're doing great, and we appreciate all these fine shows coming to an iconic place like the Virginia Theater.
Thank you both so much, and thanks for your support.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Get tickets to all of these things at thevirginia.org. And again, Fleetwood Mac is on November 15th. You need a date night. You need to treat that special someone. Get these tickets today. And we also have a free pair that we're giving away as you text in FM for Fleetwood Mac to 359-2255.
Okay. FM for Fleetwood Mac, which is really R.
And the show is Wednesday.
But it's really R. Just the
For
rumors. Right. Rumors
the
of
tribute
Fleetwood
band.
Mac. Right.
Uh-huh.
But they sound really good.
Another thing's coming up Saturday is the Audience of One, and we're sporting that on Christian FM 95.3 as people come in from all different style of religions and just pray over our community.
That's, again, when
after
is
7 o'clock
Saturday?
on Saturday night. On Saturday night.
This Saturday.
The 11th after 7.
All right, this Saturday after 7, it's 11 o'clock game.
Totally free.
And you can come in and pray for everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there's different speakers and motivational, let's get this done for the holidays and just coming together in the name of Jesus Christ.
All right, there you go.
Audience of One.
Audience of One, 7 o'clock Virginia this Saturday.
Oh, yeah, that Responsible, B-U-L-L at the end. That's a movie that's Saturday, November 18th with a world premiere. Lots of scenes filmed right here in Champaign-Urbana area.
Yeah, comedy is supposed to be like PT. You know,
that's right.
So it's that's the 18th. That's next
another
week.
thing that's coming up.
It's great stuff. But Irresponsible.
7 o'clock on Saturday the 18th.
You see a lot of scenes from Champaign-Urbana.
That's right.
Pretty cool. Okay, news coming up. Another half hour to go. ESP on 93.5. Where it is now 8:30.
You've changed thousands of diapers, cut hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose. Because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. The Brian Hansen State Farm Agency will make it easy and affordable to help protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you'd do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call me, State Farm Agent Brian Hansen in Champaign-Urbana today. For details, visit brianismyguy.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
News. I'm Therese Crowley. A bellwether election day in 36 states. Virginia, GOP Governor Glenn Youngkin calling for voters to hold the House and flip the Senate to the GOP as he proposes what he calls a reasonable abortion ban at 15 weeks.
I will support one bill that will protect life at 15 weeks, a bill that will have exceptions for rape and incest and when the life of the mother is at risk. That's the bill we'll do. And anything anybody else says is an absolute lie. And I'll say that right now.
Kentucky voters focus on family values and the economy, keep their liberal Democrat governor Andy Beshear or elect Attorney General Daniel Cameron. Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves facing off against a distant cousin of Elvis, Brandon Presley. President Biden on another phone call with Israel's prime minister, who says Israel's plan is to oversee Gaza for an indefinite period after Israel's mission to dismantle Hamas. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Federal Appeals Court upholding Illinois' assault weapons ban. The 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruling the ban doesn't violate the Constitution. A law passed in January in response to the deadly mass shooting at Highland Park's 2022 July 4th parade. Congressman Jonathan Jackson calling on the rest of the state to help Chicago in dealing with the migrant crisis. He suggested other cities in the state help take care of asylum seekers. His comments come as Mayor Johnson's administration still figuring out a housing plan for thousands of migrants currently living in temporary shelters at police stations or at cities' airports. Illinois punishing the parent company of Blue Cross Blue Shield. The state departments of insurance announcing fines of nearly $300,000 for Healthcare Service Corporation for violations of the Network Adequacy and Transparency Act requirements for health insurers to post up-to-date, accurate, and complete provider directory information. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Well, we get everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, Vicinity. Unseasonably mild weather back into play over the next 36 to 48 hours. A little bit of a respite back to more seasonal norms come Thursday and into the weekend. Another big warm-up, perhaps some near record-setting warm the middle to late parts of next week and up to just about the Thanksgiving holiday. 66 for the day today. Nothing to shake a stick at with temperatures above average there. Sunshine, north-northeasterly wind, increasing clouds, 54 tonight. A few sprinkles late, maybe a couple of sprinkles around tomorrow morning and a couple of rain showers late in the day tomorrow. Variably cloudy, windy, and unseasonably warm at 75 degrees at south wind, 15 to 25 and gusty. A couple of spells of rain here for early tomorrow night. Low down to 48 for the day on Thursday. Breezy, much cooler, sun and clouds and 56 there. 52 to 53 Friday and Saturday. Mid-50s on Sunday. Nights in the low to mid-30s. Warm-up gets going into next week with highs close to 60 on Monday. Into the 60s on Tuesday. Dare we forecast some 70-degree weather mid-next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Rochester, Greg Soldier.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck, duck, goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Yeah, I'll be going over the iHotel. 10:30 is when we're starting today.
Taking care of business.
Yeah. If you want to look at where we're going, you can still jump on Yuletide Celebration, which is really a wonderful show, a one-day trip to Indianapolis.
Okay.
And it's December 15.
Okay.
Just a one-day deal.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, I know. There's some really nice things we're going to tell you about, including great trains and Grand Canyons. That's in May. We're excited about that. Alaska is also on our docket.
Yes.
If you want to see the Alpine Swiss villages and rails, Janet loved Switzerland. She and Benjamin were there last year.
Can we do a package deal if we want all of these?
Yeah. Just add it up.
Okay.
Albuquerque Balloon Festival and some others that you're really going to enjoy hearing about.
10:30 today,
Yep.
iHotel.
I have spared no expense buying you coffee and tea.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Got the sugar packets and the cream right there.
Bring your leftover candy if you want it. Anything else? It's like, I didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, it's happy to have the travel show because you gotta just see stuff and see pictures and slides.
Dream, and then maybe make some arrangements so that you're committed, and that's a good gift that you can wrap up the flyer and give it for the holiday season. To me, that would be awesome.
Keith Mills from Premier will be leading the discussion on these Premier trips and. Wonderful response in this last year, and there might be a place you want to go, so we'd love to have you.
And what I like is you're traveling with friends from our community, and you get to know them better at mealtime and things like that. So,
well, you meet a lot of new people too.
It's just fun.
And once you travel with somebody, you kind of always know them. It's really funny how you travel with somebody, and it's just like, hey, remember, hey,
Yeah.
So, and we have a lot of United States trips this year because this stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, looking forward to that. Stevie J Travel, StevieJTravel.com, StevieJTravel.com. Luke Goody will be on the radio this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear from the sharpshooting forward, good kid. He and Luke Altmaier apparently have a friendship budding.
Is that right?
Yeah, they went hunting together in Indiana.
Oh, nice.
And Luke clearly is the better shot on the basketball court, but apparently Luke Altmaier claims to be the better shot in the field.
I see.
You want to shoot a duck, you might want to pick Luke Altmaier. He said growing up in the South, you had to be good with your rifle.
Mississippi, right?
Yep, Mississippi. And anyway, if you want to hear Luke Goody after 4 today with Lon and Derek, that's good. And there is buzz that I heard Jay Lehman and Lon Tay talking about, that if the unexpected happens and somehow Illinois wins the West, Lon is taking everybody to the Long Branch Steakhouse to buy them fried pickles. But that's it.
Okay.
We're not going to, So fried pickles for the crowd.
They are really
even
good
joke
fried
with Luke
pickles.
Good. Even joke with Luke Altmaier, saying, "Luke, you got to come up if this happens." Yeah. He says, "Yeah, that'd be fun."
Okay.
So fried pickles is what Jay Lehman loves up there. So he and Jay are going to split it. And you can buy a whole bunch of fried pickles for not a ton of money.
Sure.
So, anyway, but they did not say steak, which is smart because that could be bad. That could be really, really a lot.
That's where we're doing our Christmas party, by the way, in downtown Gifford at Long Branch.
Yep.
And your company, if you have, 50 or less on the people in your business and you want to just take over the restaurant on one of their off nights, they do got a couple of dates left, but reach out now. I know it was a real popular place this past weekend because Gordyville had their big rodeo going on.
Yeah, there's sometimes you do have to wait a little bit, but it is worth the wait. Anyway, by the way, in the Christmas party, might be done. They might have one spot.
Okay.
I think most nights are gone.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I forgot to say it.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Christmas party thing, maybe you just got to call Donnie.
Okay.
At Long Branch if you want your company party there, and you're right, 50 seats, 56 or whatever he can. It's really, 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 and they do such a good job. And as long as you have the ribeye medium rare with mashed potatoes, and they got to kick some macaroni cheese in there and the Brussels sprouts because he put something on it, and then frog dressing on. Then they got fried potato.
Yeah. And I'm an asparagus fan, too. I always get that. Mike just gets the filet mignon with the bacon wrapped around. And the baked potato, for some reason, that's phenomenal.
Can do that. I did it. I did Donnie's baked potato at home.
Oh, you did?
It was just like Donnie. But
holding the heat.
It took hours. But we got that heat so high in the oven. The oven wasn't hot, but I left it in there for a long time.
Gotcha.
And it came out kind of like Donnie.
Yeah.
So maybe Donnie will hire me.
Hey, speaking of these kind of tips, it's fun to visit with Tim Onstadt, too. And he comes our way around this time on Thursdays. Yeah. And people are looking forward. We were talking turkey at our house about what we're doing, whether we want to do something a little different. And he was recommending some things on the grill or smoking.
Smoke a turkey.
Yep.
Yeah. No, he's got all that. And if you are wanting to know more about that, we can talk about that on Thursdays about this time with Tim Onstadt from Gale Ferrex Trucking and Dedicated Diesel.
Another thing we're doing Thursday in support with Christian FM 95.3 here at Stevie Jay Broadcasting is the Praise to Raise to support Salt and Light. And personal testimony, my son Aiden kind of getting his footing on what it's like to work for a boss and get a task list and have somebody watching you to make sure you're getting things done. And for Aiden, kind of a problem because he gets so chatty over there and he forgets to do his job.
Well, he's a good talker. He's great. Yeah, people love talking to Aiden.
That's why the Snooks in Savoy 8:30 to 1:30 is a good fit as the bag guy because he can visit with people, put the groceries in the bag and say, have a nice day and still be very social. But anyway, Salt and Light helps empower people with these job skills, and they get paid with food for their table or, clothing for their interview that's coming up. It's just a terrific place to support. So that's Thursday for only $10 at the Vineyard Church.
All right, 8:41, got some clips from the basketball game last night you'll hear next.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
Crossroads Contractor Supply specializes in the delivery of tools and supplies within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana. Reliable, timely, and with reasonable prices, Crossroads Contractor Supply knows what equipment and tools are needed for your job. Get the job done right with proper tools and equipment. Did something break? Construction materials, tools, as well as safety equipment, all available at Crossroads Contractor Supply. Visit crossroadscontractorsupplyil.com.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, Partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Okay, so Fighting Illini win last night. They beat Eastern. Terrence Shannon, Dre Gibbs Lawhorn, the freshman, came in, was star of the game. What up? What's he bring?
He gave us energy, and he had a great week of practice, and it's kind of like you could tell that he was going to play good. He always has energy in practice, always going hard, and he's just one of those guys that's always energetic and gonna bring the energy to any team that he's on.
It felt good, exposure really is not my focus. It's just coming out, playing hard, providing for my team, making sure my team gets to win at the end of the day, whether that's me cheering on the bench or being on the court. Whatever I can do to help the team get the dub at the end of the game. Sometimes it's good coming off the bench because you kind of can get a feel for the game and how people are playing. So I loved it.
Yeah, I wonder how fast he can come along. Because, he's got stuff. He's got skill. Oh, we'll see.
Yep.
Dre, D-R-A, Dre Gibbs Lawhorn.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hear that name a lot, I think.
18 points yesterday. Oakland's next, 7 o'clock. And Illinois women out of the gate with their game and season starting up tonight at 6 against Morehead State.
They're going to win a lot to a little. This team is good. And we'll see. We don't know how good. They got some really tough opponents coming up. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a fan already of Shauna Green, the head basketball coach for women's basketball. She's terrific.
Io had 8 points with 16 minutes. Chicago Bulls took down Utah 130-113. Milwaukee Bucks over the Brooklyn Nets 129-125. Indiana Pacers over San Antonio Spurs 152-111. The Chargers beat the Jets yesterday 27-6. Thursday will be Bears-Panthers action.
Oof.
Always fun to watch the games at PS. I know. Oh, come on. Stink versus stink.
Are
they both like 2-7 or something?
I don't think Carolina's 1-2.
Is that right?
They're two of the top draft picks. So you're like, okay, so I really don't want to win this because I want to be ahead in the draft. That's where those two teams.
I know.
Yeah.
So who wins in that kind of situation?
Is that Carolina? It's a coin flip. That's a real coin flip. But the Bears have.
And they both don't want to win because they want the draft picks, right?
That doesn't matter. Carolina gave their draft pick to Chicago, so the Bears get their draft pick too.
I see.
So Bears might want to beat them, so they're way down there and get the first pick. Because right now Arizona get the first pick. They're pretty bad, but I just, and also this is on Amazon Prime, so you have to have a subscription to even get the Thursday night game anymore. So there's that, and anyway, it's not one, yeah,
right.
Bears, and you know what the people at Amazon Prime are? Oh man, maybe we'll sell more stuff today because we're not getting anybody to watch this one.
See. Well, speaking of Chicago sports, Cubs manager David Ross fired, and Craig Counsell from the Milwaukee Brewers, a 5-year, $40 million contract.
And you said that's a record? Is that a record for baseball managers? Right. I'm just wondering, did anybody see this coming? Anybody at all? I didn't hear a whisper about anything happening there. David Ross, they had a pretty decent season.
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty competitive. It just, you brought in, I think, one of the best managers in baseball, in Craig Counsell. And that means Milwaukee's not going to be as good, so there's that. But the Cubs are going to get better, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Cub fans ought to be super optimistic about that move. That's a real high-level move there. Counsell just wins. No matter what he has, he finds a way to be at the top. Not great news for Cardinal fans. I think the Cubs will be good. I think they really will. I think Joe Madden was, I think, a good manager. People got tired of him, but he won the World Series in 2016. I like Joe Madden. I think Craig Counsell, I don't know who's better, but he's up there. He is really a good manager, I think.
Awesome.
All right.
That's sports. I'm Diane Ducey.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Eric Bowen with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan in place, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation. Contact us at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana this Saturday. And boy, a phenomenal day's worth of weather yesterday. Equally fine in some areas again for the day-to-day, especially points on southward. But overall, still a very mild weather pattern for the next 48 hours. Change to a little more typical early November feel expected for the end part of the week and early on into the weekend, minus any strong wind or any of the white stuff. Big turnaround in temperature readings gets going by mid-next week. Perhaps even some record-setting warmth just before the Thanksgiving holiday. Sunshine and 66 today across East Central Illinois. Northeasterly wind, increasing clouds tonight, lows near 50. Could be a few sprinkles tomorrow morning and a couple of showers late in the day tomorrow, turning windy and unseasonably mild at 75. A couple of showers tomorrow night, low down to 48. Breezy, much cooler for the day on Thursday, sun and clouds and 56. Lower 50s for highs Friday, Saturday, mid 50s on Sunday, getting close to 60 Monday and into the 60s next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchus, Greg Soldier.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. We were talking about Michigan maybe getting some action against this sign stealing thing. You said no way, they're Michigan.
That's right.
Somebody texted in double secret probation. Wasn't that
right.
from Animal House?
Watch it out. There's a possible discipline that could be coming down the pipe.
We'll see. But
Possible.
There's been indications that there's so much outcry for how manipulated and kind of planned this thing was and how sophisticated it was. And of course, the guy that did it was on to Central Michigan. Jim Harbaugh knew nothing about this.
Oh, and look, he might be wearing like a Michigan-style hat or something. like he's in there.
They're talking about.
I thought he was in the audience.
No, he was on the sidelines. Somebody at Central Michigan allowed him down there.
I am looking at that now. It was
pretty premeditated with fancy glasses that the blue light came on to record things.
Oh,
so it was like super secret agent
Mission
stuff.
Impossible stuff.
Yeah, right, so I don't know. There might be a suspension of Jim
when it comes
Harbaugh
to
or something.
Big Ten sportsmanship rules.
Yeah, they definitely broke the rules.
Then again, it's the Wolverines.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Local, personal, trusted. Hi, this is Ata Durakan with First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, and we've been serving Champaign County since 1908. Our institution is safe, strong, and stable. We operate on a foundation of responsible and sound practices, and you can rest easy knowing we're your bank. Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial Inc., fast, friendly, and local, with local loan decisions and underwriting. If you're not already banking with us, give us a try, and we think you'll love it here. First Federal Savings Bank, 356bank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 435120.
Fighting Illini football is back in Memorial Stadium for Dad's Day and Military Appreciation Day, Saturday, November 11th, as they take on the Indiana Hoosiers. Get tickets for as low as $20 as we celebrate dads for this proud Illinois tradition. All active military personnel are eligible to receive free tickets. Be in your seat early for a special military flyover. Illinois football versus Indiana, Saturday, November 11th. Get tickets and more info at fightingillini.com.
Yep, there's lots more interest in Illinois football today because of the win at Minnesota. So now we are right there, and there'll be bowl representatives probably watching Illinois now the final 3 weeks. We'll see. We've got to really have to beat Indiana. And I get it. We can lose all three of these games, but we can also win all three of these games. And I like the way we're playing, and I like Johnny Newton's on my team.
Yeah,
number 4 is on my team. He's a. What did PJ Fleck say after the game? I heard Jay Lehman say comment about Illinois, and he said, "What happened in the second half when your team only gained 67 total yards?" He said number 4 was disruptive.
All righty.
So even if Johnny didn't get all the tackles, they got to double team him so somebody else, that kind of thing. You got to find him. Where's number 4? He's an NFL first rounder. That's unbelievable. We have another first rounder.
Wow.
All right. Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
See some of you at the iHotel 10:30 for our little travel show. Thank you for listening. I'm Stevie Jay. Meet you tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday. By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience. Several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business.
Holidays are happening now at Merle Norman. Eligible shoppers receive their new gift with purchase, including 4 travel-friendly skin brightening products from the top-selling Brilliant C system. Shop while supplies last at Merle Norman, 706 West Market Drive in Champaign. Free with purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman Cosmetics products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last at participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only. Limit 1 per customer. Owner can reserve the right to modify the gift if necessary. Promotion is not available at MerleNorman.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Fighting Illini football is back in Memorial Stadium for Dad's Day and Military Appreciation Day, Saturday, November 11th, as they take on the Indiana Hoosiers. Get tickets for as low as $20 as we celebrate dads for this proud Illinois tradition. All active military personnel are eligible to receive free tickets. Be in your seat early for a special military flyover. Illinois football versus Indiana, Saturday, November 11th. Get tickets and more info at fightingillini.com.
When you're buying a battery, it's important to look beyond just the price and make sure you're buying a quality battery. So when you're buying one from the big box store, make sure you ask the question, what's the date on this battery? Is it dependable? Sometimes the big box stores have batteries that have been sitting on the shelf for years. Or you can just come to Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable, and buy your battery from the people who only do batteries. Interstate Batteries at 2504 North Madison, Champaign, way out there, but totally worth the drive. How much is dependable worth to you? Interstate Batteries, open 6 days a week. You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. Jeremiah 29:11 states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." What a comfort we have in this passage, as the Lord is telling Jeremiah, I care for you and will take care of you. If you are in despair and think you have no hope, pray to the Lord for guidance. See how your life can be changed and the lives of those around you. This message brought to you by the Blossom Basket Florist.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Looking to eat healthier and buy locally? Savannah Ridge Farms in Indianola, Illinois has been expanding their yak herd for nearly 2 years, offering local farm-to-table meat containing absolutely no antibiotics, hormones, or steroids. Savannah Ridge Farms is raising 100% all-natural yaks that feed on organic grass and hay in chemical-free open land. Yak meat is one of the best sources of protein and is nearly 100% fat-free. So if you want healthy, nutrient-dense, vitamin